name's Joseph Burchett, kind of on board.
Joseph, before you start, I got a couple things I need to tell you. When you get to 8 minutes, I will hold this up. This means you've met your minimum time requirement. When you get to 13, I will hold this up. It means you have 2 minutes to start wrapping it up. When I get to 15, you will stop mid-sentence if necessary. Okay? And also, please tell us your advisor.
Clark.
Clark.
Family.
Right, okay. Everybody got that? Hang on a second, I gotta figure out how to work my phone. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, who are you taking? Okay, you're off.
Do you want me to leave this one?
Sure, he'll have some in the other room.
Sure.
Who knows, if the other couple shows up, he may be back.
Thank you. Thank you for being willing to be flexible. Hang on a minute, I gotta figure out what I'm doing here time-wise.
Okay.
See, I want the stopwatch.
So,
Are you ready?
I know this judge because I see her a lot. What's your name?
My name's Christine Gray.
Christine Gray. Okay.
You know, just a minute, I can't start because now I have to be the third judge, so
Okay.
I have to be just ready. Give me a second.
Okay. All right.
Good that I remembered that, huh? And Clark is your advisor.
Yes.
Okay, hit it.
All right, let me take your jacket off first. Okay, so my name's Joseph Burchett. A little bit about myself is I have 2 other sisters. One of them is Michaela Burchett, she's a Marine, and one of them is Anna Burchett, she's not a Marine. My 2 lovely parents are behind you, Mike and Stephanie, and also my mother's mother, which is Linda. So, enough about them, because this is about me. Beginning with the freshman year, it's kind of what you'd expect. That was me. I kind of had the weird hair at that point. I didn't know what to really do. I'm kind of bad at smiling in photos, which you'll see as this goes on. And it was pretty much exactly what you'd expect for your first year. It's pretty average, not too bad, not too good. There were no major struggles, which is the biggest thing. I had Knowledge Bowl, which was one of the clubs I participated in, and I was in jazz choir, which was actually a big thing for me because normally freshmen aren't in jazz choir. So this was a picture from a jazz festival we went to, and that's me, obviously. This is me singing with the rest of the choir, most likely at a concert. If you can't see me in this picture right here, that's not left, like, that's me. I was in the top left corner. This picture was from my freshman year. This is Mr. Powell. He actually is in the classroom, like, right on the other side of this one. He teaches physics and physical science, and I had him freshman year, and he's probably one of my favorite teachers I've ever had. One of. This was from when he was teaching us about the chemical reaction that creates brass, because he would take a penny, he'd dip it in zinc, and then he'd hold it over a flame and it would turn gold. And he was a medieval alchemist, Paracelsus, which is really fun, and definitely made me remember how brass is made. So these are my test scores from freshman year. I didn't really get to take my other test scores because the thing. So this was level 4 for English, and I passed that, and that was level 3 for math, and I passed that. So sophomore year rolls around and looked like that. Got a little bit wider, figured out my smile a little bit more. It was pretty good. It was a rather average year, nothing too big. I did struggle in math though, because I had the big roadblock in your head where it's like, you don't know why it matters, so you should kind of stop, which is a really bad thing, which I figured out later. So I skirted the edge of disaster on that one, but I did pass that class. Choir overtook most of my social experiences though. So this is when I was in jazz choir again. I'm right here in this one. This was when we were at a Groove for Thought Jazz Festival, which means that we sing in front of a professional choir and they give us feedback. It's a competition, so a lot of schools come, a lot of schools sing. This is when we were at a concert with Sarah Gazarek. Didn't really like the way she sounded, if you can't tell by my face. And this was from our grotto trip. So what this was around Christmas time, the entire chamber choir would all shove into a bus, and then we'd go down to, it's this big Catholic church. And we would all sing there, and they have a giant Christmas event, and it sounds really cool because like you drop a pen, you hear it for like 2 miles. It was really cool. So then we go to junior year. Like that. Definitely figured out the smile at that point. A little shiny in that one. So this is probably my worst year though, because I started making very, very dumb decisions. That was my first class, being math, because reoccurring issue, I didn't know why I was taking math. Thought myself tooth and nail because I had developed a very bad procrastination issue. And my parents can vouch for that because they kind of had to whip my butt into shape. Thanks for that, by the way. But I did still manage to have some good experiences. I was in choir again, but these pictures are not from choir because I don't want choir to be everything. So I took biomedical science, which is learning about processes that stop when you die, basically in your body. So this was the skeleton from that class. This is Mr. Coffey, who's my English teacher. He is another one of my favorite teachers because he's really cool. This was taken obviously during the whole COVID thing, but that's what he looks like. This was from the medical science class where we learned the basics of how to get an EMR license, which is an emergency medical responder license. That's CPR, Heimlich, how to plug a bullet hole. So that's one of the things you learn. How to treat it like a knife slash, and you learn how to wrap ankles too, which is really weird because a lot of people don't like to touch each other's feet, which makes sense. We go to senior year, which is where I am at currently. Changed a little bit, picture to picture. It was very off because, well, you can probably guess why, because I'm assuming you know why, but COVID-19 basically just took the world and just flipped it upside. It was one of my best years of personal growth because I hit some very hard realizations doing online school that if I didn't carry myself, no one was going to carry me. So, achieved some of my best grades first semester, being all A's and B's, except for human body systems, because that class is hard. It's very hard. So I'm proud of that because I had struggled the year before very hard. And the parents were proud, they were happy, and I was happy. So I had a bunch of community service done. This is a really cool story because this was when I was helping out with setting up a homeschool co-op, which is there's a homeschool group in town, and they use Calvary Community as their base of like operations. So they have Friday school, and I would go down on Thursdays with my gym, and we would move chairs and get their stuff set up for them. And this, so there's an organization in town called Family Promise. It's Family Promise in Cowlitz County, and what they do is they work with local churches to provide homes for homeless families. And they held a online open house over Christmas, and me and my dad actually got to produce that. So I got to spend about 80 hours editing about half an hour's worth of videos and drank too many energy drinks doing that. Fun times. But that was a really cool experience. It's actually on Facebook, so I can show you after this is all over. Then we come to the future, because I'm not done with my senior year, so this is obviously the future. So, for me it's still a bit hazy because there's so many paths open to me that I'm not 100% sure where I want to go. I have a whole bunch of ideas, but I'm not 100% sure exactly what path I want to go down. I do know that I am moving to California this summer because my sister, who's a Marine, invited me to come live with her, and I took that opportunity. So in August, I go down south of San Diego. So, don't really want to go to university, even though everything pushes you to, but I might have to for what I want to do. But personally, I think there are better opportunities than university because of how much debt and how much money that costs. But I do think that some people are working in it, and it works really well. One of the biggest things I want to do is I want to start teaching. I want to get a teaching license, and I want to teach the knuckleheads like me, because I'm very grateful to my teachers. There's also a lot of means to get that. So online school is obviously like the biggest one, because teaching is a very like popular, wide career, so there's a lot of schools that offer that. LCC actually offers a 4-year teaching program as well, because they started offering that I think 2 years ago, and they're very affordable. And Starbucks, if you work with them for about a year, they pay for your college through ASU, which is another opportunity to get free school. So that comes to the exit outcomes. These are required. So I basically am going to explain to you why I need each of these. So that way I don't have to break everything I'm saying multiple times. So I'm a responsible citizen because I had a community service on a regular basis within my church. I served every Saturday. I ran their live streams, and I would take their video and mix their sound and put it online on Facebook YouTube. I'm a quality producer because I was trusted enough by a charity organization to produce something for them. They obviously had some sort of trust in me and my father to produce that. I'm a resourceful thinker because with this year being as off as it has, I've still able to achieve good grades, meaning I was able to think outside of the box to get stuff done. Effective communicator because, I've done this several times, I've done a lot of presentations, and I want to do this for a living because I like presenting information. I'm not the fondest of the research, but I like presenting it. I'm a self-directed learner because I survived online school, and as much as it sucked, I did it, and I lived through it, and I was able to achieve some of my best grades through it. And I'm a knowledgeable person, at least to the government, because this is my last roadblock on my way to graduation, which means the school system at least acknowledges that I'm knowledgeable enough. So, a couple things in order. Thank you for all the teachers that taught me. I'm sorry for being such a knucklehead, because I know I was a knucklehead. Thank you for seeing my presentation. Thank you to my parents for coming. Are there any questions?
Such a knucklehead.
I am such a knucklehead.
It's part of the age. You'll outgrow it. Anybody have questions?
I'll ask my parents if they have questions.
You are,
You guys have
absolutely.
questions? No?